Okay, hope you can see down inside of there. Push that right out of the way. Hi everybody, welcome back. This is will be part 2. I typically don't like to give you a problem and then don't come up with a resolution, so I was testing last night. You guys saw it on video, very poor video. Sorry about that. I'll try to make up for it today. But what we're looking at today is follow-up on the large vacuum leak on the Volvo 850. And what we can show you here is I'm going to bring it a pointing instrument right here. This is where I was looking at the leak. If you can see that where I'm pointing, that's the vacuum intake. In other words, it pulls vapors from the air intake into the intake manifold to be burned off. Okay, these are your oil vapors, could be fuel vapors, whatever. It's your positive crankcase ventilation. And it also is a point for all the whirling and swirling inside the engine to kind of get rid of some of that pressure. This is a key point on a Volvo. They have problems with gunk building up, blocking this path, letting the crankcase vent. So that pressure that builds in the engine then starts putting a pressure on all of the seals, and then you start winding up with cam seal leaks, crank seal leaks, all kinds of things like that. But the intent on this one was to kind of follow up on it, so hopefully you can see that clearly. Last night it was just a hot mess, so what I did today is I went ahead and took this radiator hose. I didn't drain the coolant. I just took a rubber strap and pulled it out of the way. And there's your temp sender wire right here. I moved it out of the way, and it looks like I can see quite a bit better down in there. If you remember from the last video, we had a big swirling ball of smoke just come pouring out of that space. So let me turn on the smoke tester right here. I'm sorry, I'm going to have to do a reach across here. Okay, and we're using the Ancel S2000, not paid in any way from Ancel. This is my own personal purchase. These are my own personal thoughts. Okay, so from this one, I'm going to let it build up some smoke. I'm going to cut the video clip in from the other one so you can remember just how bad it was, and then I'll get to the punchline. Okay? So its pressure, well, it's pushing smoke in. And like in the air intake system on this one, there's so many leaks, it can't generate enough volume to seal those leaks. That was in a comment that I shared last night, just so you'd know that the problem was basically isolated, but you can't really build like I did for the intake intercooler. I built like 10 pounds of pressure. Okay, that was pretty good. We still have the leak over on the, if you see any vapors rising, that's still the leak over on the vacuum tree. I've got to get that O-ring ordered, but I think that'll do it. But again, that's a very, very small leak. Probably to the point where it really wouldn't generate much of a problem. But the one over on this side, it's been running for a while. If you notice, we don't have any smoke coming out of that. Last night it was billowing and boiling out of there. So this morning, got the coffee up. I'm on vacation this week, so I was like, you know what, I'm going to go deal with that. So rather than ordering a bunch of parts I may or may not need, I decided to dig in and dive in. So from that one, we were able to, the elbow that you see right here, there we go. This is the vacuum elbow. It's always tough on camera. This is the elbow that, let's see, you can probably see it better there. This is the elbow that goes onto the intake. It's a drop size. There's the large end right there. That's what goes onto the manifold. If you see on there is a small side. So if you compare the two, there's quite a bit of difference. And it seems to be a Volvo thing. You see there are two different sizes. You'll notice we still don't have any smoke. Last night, oh my gosh, it was just going crazy. So in the scale of things, the leak coming over from the... Okay, hope you can see down inside of there. Push that right out of the way. Okay, GoPro decided to shut itself off again, and it's got a full battery. So last night, billowing smoke out of there, couldn't tell what it was. There's a plastic line that runs all the way from the PTC heater, and it runs all the way back around, and that's what hooks to this elbow. So the elbow in of itself, on surface, looks pretty good. Here, look at it like this. Until you do this. Alright, let me change this light. Uh-oh. What's that? Yeah, that's not a forming. That's right there on the seam where that rubber part was formed. And this is not old. It's not hard. It's not anything. This is just a flaw in this one. Because I did the PCV system on this one a long time ago. Haven't really had any problems with it. Changed all these lines, all these fittings, but this one appears to be a problem child. So, that was the source of the leak. How do you know? Well, you're not looking at it. Last night, tons and tons and tons of smoke was come boiling out of this thing. So from that standpoint, I think we've resolved it. The one thing I did do is where this goes on, there we go, where this goes on to the line, I did put a dab of shoe goo just to give it a little bit of an adhesion, and I did put a clamp on there. You can't barely see it down in there, but the clamp is there. So, I'm going to bring you back here in just a moment. Okay, here's our culprit. Right here. It's very difficult to see when you pull it this way. But when you mash it, you turn that corner. Oh boy, there it is. Let's find out. Let's find out. Are we full of nonsense? Or what do we got? Okay. That look familiar? Yeah, I think that's enough smoke to say that was a high volume leak. I'd be losing a lot of boost pressure through that bad boy. There you go. We got one part fixed. Thanks for watching.